Hey guys, Joseph here. Welcome back to the second episode of Ask Joseph. I started this last week. If you have a question for me, go ahead even sign up to my newsletter at josephclough.com and I'll be able to answer it for you. Now this question today was a two-part email because we need to get more specific questions from, or more specific info to us so I can answer it in the right way. So this is from Bill. He first said, compassion would be a very interesting format coming from you and I'd really like to tap into it. Best holidays to you and the crew. And then we asked for a little bit more information. So he said, as a caregiver, I want to be on the top of my game and compassion and heartfelt caring is paramount. I must be sincere with myself as well as those I care for and care about. Time wears and erodes oneself when faced with repetitious tasks on a daily basis, and irritability will surface. That I can't allow. Joe's expertise is like, okay, so that's just some pleasantries there. So let's go ahead and just answer that question. Okay, so how can we remain compassionate in stressful situations or repetitive times? And in other words, not even let it get to us so we can be in the peak state. So this is going to be quite a broad one to help as many people as possible. Now, I know exactly what Bill means here because I've gone through the exact same thing. The amount of emails I get, the amount of people I see, the events. I've got to be in a peak state to be the most resourceful person that I can be. Now, here's the thing that I want to kind of break down for you. The first is that when maybe people who are, if we're in an environment where we're dealing with people are going through issues or their stuff, or maybe they're irritable, or maybe their behavior isn't that good that we don't like, the first thing I consider is, well, what is their intention behind that behavior? Because I know that that person can only want to do good things. That's just my belief. They're trying to do the best they can with the resources they have, and their behavior is the best thing they can do right now. So what is their intention behind what they do? Because if I just see their behavior, then that's going to have an effect on me. Because I think, oh, that behavior, or that person did that, and that means X, Y, Z, and that's hurting me. However, if I think, well, what is this person possibly thinking, and what is the intention behind their behavior? We're separating behavior and intention, and their intention is always good. So therefore, I can see them cleanly and clearly for what they're trying to do and what they really want in life. So that's the first step, to really see their intention behind what they do. That means we can feel more at peace and we get more understanding, and we have then compassion, because compassion is naturally there because we know what they're doing is not necessarily who they are, but the intent which is driving it is something we want to really look into, because we know their intent's always going to be trying to do a good thing. So that's the first step. The other thing is being clear in yourself. Can always realize that even if you do get irritable, you also have the best of intentions. You're trying to do the best that you can, so be gentle on yourself. You are human, you are, as am I, and sometimes things can get the best of us. And that's okay. Be at peace that sometimes that can happen. Now that's not a cop-out. I want to give you some ideas of how that can happen dramatically less, the intention one being specific, but also realize you are human and sometimes things happen. And your behavior is not who you are. The intent behind it is the thing what we really think. So maybe if I lashed out at someone by accident, what's the intent there? Well, maybe I was frustrated with something and that was the only way I could get out that frustration. It's not good, but the intention was there. So always realize that their intention's good. They're trying to do the best they can with the resources they have, and also that you're doing the exact same thing. Now, let's consider this. What I personally do is, let's say I go through the day, I want to make sure I learn from my day. And I've discussed this before in other videos, and it's ultimately a learning tool. As I go to sleep, I ask myself, well, how did I act and react throughout my day, and what can I learn to get better? What insight, learning, or clarity can I get from my behavior or what I did that day? Now, this is not about judging you, it's not about condemning you or thinking, oh, why did I do this? But more, what can I learn from this? How can I be different in the future? That means we're always evolving, we're always conscious and improving in every way. And as we take those learnings into as we sleep, our unconscious mind will absorb those learnings too. And then when we wake up in the morning with those learnings present, you ask yourself the great question, what can I do today which will really be conscious and compassionate? And as you think about the type of actions that you can do, it will cause your unconscious mind to know the strategy. The strategy will already be in place. It's like you're already pre-teaching your unconscious mind, there's how I'd like to act and react. There's who I want to be. There's how I'm going to be. And that way it makes it easier. So rather just happening in the event, we don't know how to react to it in a compassionate way, we pre-taught our unconscious mind, there's how I want to be. And also, if you check out my last video on my newsletter, I'll be releasing it very soon if you listen to this on the audio, on my apps and video on YouTube as well. But it's really about how you can change your, in fact, there is one there, how you can change your state instantly. Look at that on the app. That's going to really allow you to change your state should something arise. And also, if you do that before you start whatever you're doing, you're going to put yourself in that state of compassion. So changing your state instantly is going to be a great audio and video to watch. And the one after that as well, I can't think of a name, it's just kind of come up to me now. But it's almost like setting up your own personal anchor. So you can just get in that state of compassion and fire off that anchor so you always have it there with you. To me, that is the best thing I can say. It's really about putting yourself and realizing that you are doing the best you can, so are other people. How can I be different? How can I give off the right communication? Because let's think about this as well. The communication or the response you get from people is ultimately the quality of your communication you're giving out. That's the way I see it. I like to take full responsibility for my communication. So if I'm saying something to someone or I'm doing something and they take it in a way which is not positive, I need to refine my own communication. So it's about being conscious of what you're doing and asking, well, how can I do things differently? Getting into that peak state and realizing they're doing the best they can at any given moment. See their intention and it will allow you to remain balanced in when you're with that person. And as you do this, it'll be an automatic way of being in the world. Because usually what happens is we get conditioned to react in a certain way. Someone does something and then maybe I get frustrated and I snap, or I lose my temper, or I lose my patience with someone. That becomes the trigger. When someone does this, I react this way. As we consider their intentions, what will happen is like, oh, I should react a certain way, but I'm not, because you pre-taught your unconscious mind that their intention behind what they're doing is positive and I'm at peace with that. That's their behavior, which is doing what the best they can at any given moment. That causes that wholeness, that balance, and that love. See them through the eyes of love and you'll be able to just change the way you react or behave in those environments. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have a question for me, sign up to my newsletter at josephclough.com. Send me an email when it comes to, on every newsletter I say the type of things I need to know. And if you send me an email as you respond to my newsletter, we can then pick it up and I can answer it for you in a video just like this. So hope you enjoyed that and I'll speak to you very, very soon. Many thanks and goodbye.